everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I was contacted by a lady from the company Magicfly and she sent me a link to the website and they said I could pick a few things off the website. Now they sell things from like the glitter that I picked to resin, there's gouache paint, oil paint, acrylic paint, all sorts of different paints. I believe that there's pencils as well. Now I can't remember whether that was watercolour pencils or normal average pencils, but it was one of the two, and a few other bits and bobs like storage things. Now these are the 3 items that I picked out to test, and they were kind enough to send me these for free for me to unbox and review on the channel. Now it might come as a surprise, but I decided to try my hand at resin. I've seen loads of cute little like paintbrush holders, like resin ones, like little teddy bears and palettes and water containers, pens. There's all sorts that you can make out of resin, so I thought I'm going to ask for this, and they was kind enough to send me this. And then to go along with that, the set of 20 resin pigments, so they go hand in hand together. They are sold separately but they do work together. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I did ask for the glitter, and I'm going to use this glitter on my colouring pages. Any art that I do, I'll be testing them out, as well as the resin pens that I plan on doing. Now they didn't sell any moulds that I could see on the website, so I went ahead and purchased just a cheap set of moulds off Amazon. These are just pen moulds. I'll just show you one. So you just pop your ink in the middle there, which I have got in that box, and then you put your resin in, and then you leave it for 24 hours to set, and then pop it out and you've got yourself a nice pen. So that's my idea. And then if that goes well, then I'll try something a little bit more intricate, like the little teddy bears, or like I said, the palettes, if I can get hold of them. So we'll move this all out of the way, and I'll start off with the glitters, and then we'll work towards actually opening the resin package, seeing what we're getting in it. Read the instructions. I have no idea how to do this. I'm definitely a beginner, so we'll learn together. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the glitters. Now there's 50 in this kit. Now I have opened them up just to check that there wasn't any explosions anywhere, but I've not took them out or had a mess with them or anything. But I'd do that for the first time on camera. So there is 50 colours here. It does come in quite a sturdy box. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to keep them stored in here because it is quite big. If I can think of something else, then I will do that. So I'll just pop a couple of colours out. There is a little bit of glitter in between these, but not a lot, and there is padding at the bottom there. So this is one of the colours, aqua blue. Wow, look how sparkly that is. And I have got different types of glue that I can try these out on. If I just show you like that, they do sparkle. Let's go with a purple. This is more of a lavender shade. Violet jade. Oh, that is gorgeous. Really shimmery. So my idea is to mix this with the resin to make glitter pens. So what else really jumps out to me? That's a nice pink colour. I can't even pronounce that word, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But it's not called pink, it's classed as a red, this one. Where I would say that is definitely on the pink side. Oh, I've only just noticed, look at these ones. So you've got little holographic stars. Now they're going to be super cool in the resin, if this works. We've got butterflies. Just here, look how sparkly they are. They do remind me very much of the Nouveau little sequins. So we've got a gold one that's going to be lovely for Christmas, like Christmas cards, that sort of thing. See that sparkle? Oh, I'm excited. And the last holographic one is holographic white, which how nice would that be on like a wedding card? If you're into making your own cards, that's something that I'd love to do, make my own cards. So we've got a very neon orange here, but still super sparkly. Well, overall, I like the colour selection. There's quite a few golds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 merging onto copper shades. We've got deep rust colour shades. I don't want to take all of them out because I might bore you. Let's just have a quick look at this one. Apple green. Look how shimmery that is. So that's beautiful. I am just going to test this. I should have got a piece of paper. I'll just have my little notepad here. So let's just move that out of the way. I'm using my messy mat because I had a good idea that this would be a messy task. And I've got this quickie glue gun. Glue gun. I don't own a glue gun, a glue pen. So let's try that. This is just a very small nib. And we'll just put a small amount down. Now, are they already open or have they got a seal? Let's see. So there is a sprinkler on. I'm just going to unscrew just to check whether it is sealed. It's not sealed. It is sealed. You see on that side. So you will have to pull that out to sprinkle the glitter out. But let's just try this. I'm going to end up making a mess everywhere. And usually with any sort of loose glitter, I do leave it for a minute or two. It's everywhere. I do usually leave it for a minute or two. And I probably should have done this beforehand. Let's get a spare piece of paper. I'm making a dog's dinner out of this, aren't I? So I'm just going to crease this just so I can put the glitter back into the container. So let's tap off the excess. And that is what we're left with. That is gorgeous. You know what these glitters will be good in? If you mix them with the... oh gosh, what's it called? I'm dropping everything. With the glossy accents. If you manage to mix these together, like in a little tub, I think they'd be like stickles. I really do. You know what? I'm going to try that now. Oh, let's get a little tiny brush. And let me just dab a little bit on. Just a little blob. Let's just put that back without dropping any more. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. Without the camera not listening. There we go, that should be a little bit better. So if I just mix these two together, like make a paste, would that dry like stickles? That's what I'm wondering. So if I just do it here, wow, look at that. So if I just bring that up, and that is with the glossy accents just mixed together. And if that was on a page where with stickles next to it, I don't think I would be able to tell the difference. So have I found a way of saving a lot of money here on stickles? I think so. Look how sparkly that is. So I'm going to leave that to dry. I'll just leave it to one side for now. And let's open the resin package up. So now that I've got glitter everywhere, let's open this package up. Now I haven't looked in this one, so this is the first time, so that's what you see when you first open the box. It does look quite full. So I know that these are your little mixing tubs, but you could use them for what I've just done with the glossy accents and the glitter. That would work really well. So what have we got here? Little spatulas. So we've got 4 of them. Move them to one side. We've got more little tubs, which is handy. I'm hoping that you can just clean these out and reuse them. Are they different sizes? Let me just take one out. They are quite tightly packaged. Yes, there is different sizes of them. I think there might be a few more. We've got a lid. Yep, some more. Some more mixing containers, or are these the ones that you pour with? Take the plastic off. So they are silicone by the looks of it. Squishy. More of the little mixing containers. 2 more of these silicone ones. So are these meant for the pouring with having that tip on? I'm guessing so, maybe. What else have we got in here? I think this is a matte, possibly. Let's have a little see. Let's keep all this packaging together. Right, am I going to be able to open this without scissors? Yes, I am. So I'm thinking that this is a mat that you lay things on to let them dry, so you're not destroying your surfaces, maybe. I'm thinking it is because it's quite a big one. So again, it's like a silicone mat. It must be because when it dries, I know it comes off the silicone, so maybe that's the idea around it, but I like the feeling of that. So like mini turkey basters, so are they for the same thing, for picking up the resin once it's been mixed and then putting it into little moulds maybe. You've got latex gloves, I believe they're latex. Let me just check. Doesn't say on here, but I'm assuming they are. So you've got your gloves in there. What have we got here? So that is, I think that's like sandpaper to make it smooth. This is going to be a whole deal, isn't it? A whole thing in itself. Not sure what that is, so we're going to have to read the instructions. You do get a little spatula, flat, is that silicone again? I think it is. Let's take that out. I mean, this is a whole kit. I imagine that you've got everything that you need here to start off with. That's a nice feeling one, that as well. Some more packaging. And then we've got the actual resin there. So you've got your 2 lids just there. You've got a little placer. I think that's what it is. It's like eyebrow pluckers, but different shaped tweezers. I can't think of the name. So yeah, you've got them, and then you've got your instructions at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I will quickly read over the instructions, try and find out exactly what everything is, and then we'll come back and have a look at the resin pigments first, the 20 resin pigments, and then we'll come back and have a go. But this is A, the resin, crystal clear, and then B, the hardener. Now, I have no idea which you mix first or what, so we will have to read through the instructions. Actually, before I read the instructions, let's just have a little look at these. So these are made to go with the resin. I'm so excited about this because I wanted to do this for a long time. I'll just keep my little scrap paper here and we'll just have a look at a couple of the colours. So we've got a purplish red. Now, are they already open? They are little droppers. Is it open? Let's see. I'm not sure, and I don't want this to go splat everywhere. I'm not sure whether that's open. Let me check another one. We've got a really vibrant orange. Are you meant to shake them? I'm a bit nervous. So they are very, very liquidy, these. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to pierce the top with something, which I can use one of these little things just to pierce the top, if that's what you meant to do. Pretty sure it is, because yeah, it is. So there we go, that's pierced the first one. Let's see if we can just get a drop. There we go. So that's what you have to do, you have to pierce each of them. I will bring it closer to the camera in just a second. Let's do the orange. I'm expecting it to just splatter, so I'm trying to be super careful. Let's just put one there. And let's see if we can find a blue. We've got a purple, we've got peacock blue, we've got coffee, red, brown, black, green, white, fluorescent green, golden yellow, grass green, blue, sapphire blue. Now this one does look, I'll bring that one close, that one doesn't look very good, I've got to be honest. We've got lemon yellow, and yellow. So I'll keep that blue out. These two can go back. This one does not look very good at all. It looks like that it's not a liquid anymore. It's sort of formed a solid. Let's just open it and let's just see. That's not too good. Let's just pierce that. And let's see if we can get any out. No, it's completely dried up, that one. So I don't know whether that's, you know, it's been opened in the past, or I'm not quite sure. But that does look like it would have been such a pretty colour. So that was sapphire blue. That's a shame. I will have to email them and let them know about that. That is a shame. But let's have a look at this peacock blue. So same thing, just pierce it. Just make sure that I'm putting that back where it belonged. One drop. They do remind me a little bit actually of alcohol inks, the ones that you can drop. So we'll keep that out because I think I'm going to use that colour. But very, very vibrant. They do bleed through quite a lot. Obviously they're not meant for anything other than using in resin, but if I can find any other uses for them, then I definitely will. So I'm going to go ahead and read the instructions, and then we'll get to it and making a couple of different pens. Ooh, I'm excited. Right, so I've read through the instructions and it's mixed, so it's 1 part of the resin A to 1 part of the hardener B. It's equal amounts. Now it does say to warm the resin up, so I've just popped it in some warm water and it's been sitting in that warm water for about 10 minutes just to warm up, and it's just made it more liquidy. And it says to always use gloves, and I have to mix it, so I have to pour. I don't think these are reusable, these little ones, because you have to measure them out in here to then pour them into here and slowly mix them. How long does it say to mix them for? Let me just double check that. For 3 minutes, so it says mix for 3 minutes slowly, and then you have to pour from this container to this container and do the exact same thing, so you're mixing slowly. So if you do it fast, you'll cause air bubbles. Now it does say in here that you can use a heat gun to eliminate any bubbles. Now I'm not going to do that because I'm not confident enough yet in doing this. So I have prepped the pens out already. I've put the ink in, the ink cartridges in, and then it's just ready now for the resin to be poured in. So let's get started. I mean, all the other, like the sanding and stuff, that's for more detailed work if you're doing bigger pieces. And now because I'm only doing the pens, I don't think I'll need to sand it down. So I'm not going to be using everything supplied in this kit, but by the looks of it, you'll have everything that you need. Now I'm going to have the peacock blue ready out. To go with that, I was going to do a blue pen for my husband, so I don't think he's going to appreciate glitter. I'll do 1 clear, and let's pick some different glitters out. So we'll go with this quite dark purple, which is a blue violet, and then we can mix that with a gold. And that's what we'll do, and that's called deep gold. We'll do that with one of them. And then the pen that I want, I do like the look of the white, so I'm not opening that up, so let's do that now. Right, so that's open now. Let's just put that back in there. So we're going to have 1 all blue, 1 in gold and purple glitter, and then mine I want a white and I'm going to put these little stars in it, these little multicoloured stars, and I would like this glitter. This very, very, very pink glitter in mine. So let's just have all them ready, and they're ready to go. So first of all we have to mix the A. So I probably should have took the lids off beforehand. But let's just do this all in real time. Am I going to be able to do this with gloves on? I've got a tiny pair of scissors I might be able to use if I can't. Let's see. Little teeny tiny scissors. Let's take that off. And then let's put one of the lids on. Now it does say that you have to keep the lids tight on this, otherwise it will dry up. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the lid on perfectly. So that's A done. Let's move to B. Same thing, I'll just cut it with the scissors. Like that. And then pop the lid on that one. I've just got a little bit of excess plastic here, just want to get rid of. So I'm not noticing a smell yet. Just make sure the lid is correctly on that as well. Now I don't know the amount that I'm going to need for these pens. So let's just have one of the pens here ready. And that is empty. So we've got the A, which is the resin, and we'll go for 2.5. so as you can see on here, so you've got a 5mm and a 10mm, and I'm going to go for 2.5. Just carefully, I don't want this spilling everywhere, and I've gone over, so it's a 5 now. That's okay. So lid back on. So 5 in the other one, just making sure the lid is tight. There we go, so that's 5 in that one. Let's move these scissors out of the way. So it says, so we've got our little spatula for stirring. So you want to put number A in first. Now this doesn't look like a lot actually, so it's probably a good job that I used 5 and not 2.5 in hindsight. And let's pop in the B, which is the hardener. Just make sure we're scraping that all out. And it says to mix for 3 minutes. Now it doesn't look like there's a whole lot here. Let's just see, it's our first one. I'm wondering whether to add a little bit more. I think I am going to do, so if I just pop that there just for 1 second. Let's just add another 5 into that one. And another 5 into this one. Lid tightly back on. Let's pour that in. Mixing while we're going. If you've done resin before, you're probably laughing at me now thinking she's doing it all wrong. So I see what they mean about the air bubbles. So I'm going to try and do it a little bit slower. And then what you have to do is pour it from this container into this one. I think the whole purpose of that is to stop any of the edges getting too hard. Now it does say a warning in the booklet that when you're cleaning the pots and stuff out, do not pour this down the drain, because once it's hardened it will clog all your drains up. So what does it actually say about cleaning? It says the fastest way to clean is to clean it while still wet, using dry paper towels to wipe out any resin from the sides or the bottom of your mixing vessel or stir sticks. Then wipe it again with rubbing alcohol or acetone until all the resin has completely been removed. Now I'm lucky I do have a strong acetone upstairs actually from when I removed my acrylic nails, so I'll be able to use that to clean it. But I can see a lot of air bubbles forming, so maybe I'm doing it a little bit too fast. Yes, so it says always wear gloves. And I think that's the iPad going off, it is. Never pour leftovers down the drain or sink. Do not wash out your mixing containers with any resin still in. That's what I just explained. And this instructions booklet, it does tell you a lot about the different properties of the resin at room temperature, etc. Multiple overlapping coating. Obviously I'm not going to be able to attempt anything like that. It's explaining that you can do one layer and then let it dry and then another layer. Now this does say it takes 72 hours for it to completely cure, but from what I was reading and looking at online it was 24 hours, so I will leave it for more than 24 hours just to be certain. Right, so let's transfer it over to this one now. Let's just scrape it all in. I know you can't really see what I'm doing there, difficult camera angle, so I'm just scraping it all in, trying my best not to waste any. But I think it's a good job that I used a little bit extra. It just goes to show I'm a newbie. Feels like I'm in a science class again. Just making sure I'm getting all them edges. Right, let's pop that to one side and then carry on mixing this, and then we'll be able to add the pigments or the glitter. I think we'll do the glitter one first, the purple and the gold, and see how that reacts. It's definitely not got a smell. It says low odour, anti-yellowing. I was just expecting a chemical smell, but no smell. I mean, I'm not sticking my nose in there, but I'm quite close to it and I don't smell anything there. There is a couple of air bubbles, and it does say that I can use the heat gun to eliminate that, but I'm not too worried. Right, are you going to stand up for me? Let's lean you against there, like this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the gold without hopefully spilling it everywhere. I'm not too sure how much of this I should use either. Let's just start off with that. And then let's go in with the purple. Make sure the lid's back on. And let's give that a mixy. Again. I'm just hoping that I've done enough of the resin. I'm going to add a little bit more purple. That's looking very, very gold. Carry on mixing again. I know that you can use mica powders as well in these, which I think will be gorgeous, and dried up flowers, which I've not got any of, but I imagine that they would be gorgeous. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and start pouring it into the little pen mould that we've got here. Just try and move everything out of the way a little bit, just double checking that it's all right. And do I just pour it in? Or, let's see. Is my knife stopping it there? I think it is, we'll have to hold it a little bit further back. There we go, it's poured in. I think with the next one I'm definitely going to use more. Don't think I used enough this time. Just make sure we get that very tip. And I'm going to scrape the rest in. But yeah, I think for the next one we will use 10 instead of, well no, we used 10 this time, didn't we? We used 2 5s, so maybe 20. I'm making a mess. Just trying to make sure I'm scraping all of the edges, because this is meant to be completely flush, and it's going to have a couple of dents in because I've not made enough by the looks of it. Let's see if I can use this to get the rest off, like so. What about these little bits here? So what I'm going to do is I am just going to completely put that to one side. Let's give these a wipe off while it's still wet, like it says. And I'm going to leave that until it's completely dry, and then it'll have to be, I'll have to film again when it's completely hard. But look at the colours of that. I am going to be so impressed with myself if I manage to do this. I'm just moving it up and down, just making sure that it's getting in every nook and cranny, and I'm going to pop that to one side and not touch that again, just completely leave it. So I'm going to clean these containers out while they're still wet, and then we can move on to the next one. So now I feel slightly more confident. I've just used the paper towel method while it was still wet. You can still see a tiny little bit, but it does say that you can leave these to completely dry and you can peel it off as long as you've got gloves on. So that's what I'll do once these have completely set and I've finished doing this. So there is still a tiny bit of that glitter left over that I'm not going to fuss around too much with. Now I'm going to fill both of these up to 10 this time. So we'll have 20 in there. Or will that be enough? Because this does look like it's going to be a bit of a bigger one. So I'll go a little bit over 10 this time. Just making sure that it's completely flat. A little bit more. Right, and then we've got the B, the hardener. Same thing. Let's turn that round just so I can see. Right. So same thing again. I'm going to pop it into the cleaner one this time. So A goes in first, and then use my little spatula. I can see this be really fun with the little teddy bears, like I said, that you can get the brush minders, or even making diamond painting pens. I wonder if I could do that. Just pour this in. Making sure I'm getting all the edges this time. I'd rather make too much than too little like last time. I mean, looking over it now, it doesn't look too bad. Let's just start the mixer. Now I'm going to do my pen next. I'm going to do the pink glitter with the white ink and the holographic stars. And let's see how we get on. I'm half expecting my husband to come down because he was really curious about this. So I might see if he wants to come down for me making his pen. He's just requested a blue one, which it would have been nice in that colour that was a bit hard, which is a shame. I'm just mixing. There's not as many air bubbles this time, as you can see. Right, now I'm going to transfer all of that to this one. literally all the sides off. Stuff like this is always interest me. Like as a kid, I'd always buy the kits for making jewellery and that sort of thing. So when I saw these on the website, I jumped at the chance. Just trying my best just to get every last drop out of the container. Right, and then let's mix again. A little bit of that purple might go in, but I'm not too worried because the amount that I'm going to put in this next one, it should cover it up anyway. Yeah, there's definitely no smell. So if you are sensitive to smells, this shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to use that container again just to make sure that that does not fall over. I'll start off actually, because we've seen the glitter, I'll start off with the resin pigment in white. Let's just put 1, 2, 3 drops in and let's see how pigmented that is. So I've got a funny feeling that I might need more. That does look quite transparent. So let's go in with a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try that. That might be a better angle actually, which to show you. See, it looks like a marble effect that actually. Ooh. Let's just try a little bit more. I'm wondering whether I can get it completely white or do I want it a little bit marble effect. I'm going to leave it as that. Let's put the lid back on that. And let's start adding the glitter. So we've got the pink. And then we've got the little holographic stars. Go on a little bit more. Right, and let's give that a mixy. Let me just lift that up to the camera. Oh, that looks nice. You know, that reminds me of the Snow Fairy shower gel and bath bombs that you can get from, oh, what's that shop called now? Lush, that's the one. That really does remind me of that. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and start pouring. I'm really happy with that colour. It's like a baby pink colour. So let's just be careful. This is a little bit of a deeper pen. I've definitely made enough this time. And of course it's the one that I love that I've made too much of. Ooh, nearly. I need it to go into the tip here. So let's lean that there. Let's just tip it a little bit. There you go, you can see it just about coming down. I need it to get to the very end though. So if I tip it again, is that going to work or is that completely going to tip everywhere? What about if I take a little bit out? I just want to get it in the tip, just to make sure. At the very tip. Was that a friend there? You see what I mean? Just the very tip. It doesn't look like that's been coated with the resin, so I'm trying my best to push it down. If I tilt it too much, it's tipping out, so I'm trying my best just to be careful. Let me just check the other side. The other side looks slightly better. So let's just put the rest of this on top if I can get away with it, because I don't want to waste any of this. Is that going to be as much as I can do? This one I might have to sand down when it's completely dry. Let's get a piece of tissue to catch all this excess. Yeah, I know it's going to go everywhere. Trust me to waste the one that I really like. I'm just a bit concerned about that bit at the edge. Now, it's not the resin's fault, that is the mould. There's a little bit on the end there that doesn't look like... Maybe if I pinch it... Oh, that's working, that's working. So what I did, I just pinched the very edge. And that seems to have done the trick. I'll just try my best to see if it's flat. Right, I am going to leave this one there because it is quite full and I think I've managed to spill it again. I'm just a bit concerned. You can still see the ink, but that's probably because I used a lighter colour. Maybe that's what it is. Let's give everything a wipe as best as I can. Now I'm keeping all the dirty tissue together in a bag, and I'm going to have to do the same thing with the leftovers, which is such a shame because it's such a lovely colour, this one, but don't pour it down the drain. More tissue. And let's discard that. Me and my squeaky chair. And let me just go over it again. Just to check. There's a tiny little bit left. I should be able to just scrape out. I don't think the hubby will be happy with the pink stars in his pen. Right. So the same thing, I'm going to sort these containers out as best as I can, you know, while they're still wet, and then we'll come back to the very last one. So this very last one, I will just go with the 10 and 10, just to make sure that I'm not wasting like I did last time. So we've got the resin in this one. Make sure I get it to 10, which is there. Lid firmly on. And then we want the B, which is the hardener. Get that to number 10. Put A in first. Use the spatula again to get that all out. I spilled a little bit down the side. That container's done with now. I can see why they've given you so many containers. Definitely see why. Right, and that's that one. So let's start the process of mixing this. I'm so excited to see how these pens are going to turn out. I will, obviously, I'm not going to end the video here. I will come back when it's time to take the pens out of the mould, and we'll test them together and see if it's a a big fat fail for me or a success, because like I said, it is the very first time that I've done anything like this. But overall, so far, I'm really impressed with everything that you've got in this kit, and I think that the pigments and the glitter go hand in hand with these perfectly. And just while I'm carry on mixing, that is the first little swatch that we did of the glitter. Oh, look how sparkly that is. And then that's the one that we mixed with the glossy accents. And I don't know about you, but that looks like stickles, that to me. So that might be a way going forward, instead of buying more stickles, of creating our own. So I will leave everything linked down below. I just want to say again thank you to the lovely lady that I spoke to from Magicfly for offering to send these out. She was really sweet. She said have a look at the website, check it out. If there's anything that you fancy, just let us know. So that's why I picked these. I jumped at the chance. Slowly mixing. Right, let's move it over to the next container. I can see why people enjoy doing these sorts of things, because if I manage to do something and make it all by myself, I'm going to be so proud of it. So if any of my family are watching, you might be getting pens for Christmas, handmade pens. I don't know about you, but if someone said to me, I've literally made that pen from scratch, and I picked the colours out for you and the glitter, and I mixed it all up, I think I'd be happy with that. So let's slowly mix that. Just check for air bubbles, we're alright. He's got a couple of stars in this, I'm sure he won't mind. Let's see if we can hide it with the pigment. You see there's a little bit of stars in there, I'm sure he won't mind. I've just created an air bubble, there we go, I managed to pop it. Yeah, but it does say in the instructions that you can use a heat gun. But I'm not too confident yet in my abilities of doing this, so we'll leave that part out and just hope that we don't get too many air bubbles. So let's go ahead and add the blue pigment now. This is Peacock Blue. Now I'm going to add quite a bit, going off what the white was like. Let's just start off. Oh, that's lovely. That's more of a turquoise colour. Look at that. I don't think he's going to mind a few glittery stars in there. Let's just add a teeny weeny bit more. Let's pop the lid back on that, because I know how clumsy I am. I like as well how it supplied you with the matte, because it's going to be a messy job this. So I do like that they've supplied you with this silicone matte. Oh, that is lovely. Look at that. How deep and rich is that? Oh, I'm excited for this one too. So let's move the pen into position. And let's carefully start pouring. Now, I might have the same trouble with this one. We'll see. So if I just put a little bit in maybe, and then tip it first, to try and get that, the very tip done. So let me try that. Let's tip it all the way to the end. Maybe that's what I should have done in the first place with the other one. I'm just going to give it a bit of a squeeze, just to try and get all that resin in there. Let's add some more. I'm scared of overfilling it, so I'm just going to be really careful now. Drip it everywhere apparently. Right. Right, you're going to stay there. Stay. I think it looks super cool with them stairs in, so you best like it. Look. So I'm just going to give it a slight squeeze again. There is a bit of an air bubble forming, so I'm just going to use these tweezers. And I popped it. I hope I caught that on camera then. But I've tried to get that as flat as I can. I think I'll get away with adding just a tiny little bit more. But I have wasted some here again. The pack of moulds that I got was only a pack of 3, unfortunately. But if these turn out nice, I'm going to get more. And there's a little air bubble now on the top there. Very top, so if I just poke the tweezers in and it's popped it, it's done the job. So that is that one, and I'm really pleased with that. So all I'm going to do now is just tidy up now, do the exact same thing, tidy up, and then we'll be back in a day or two when they're completely set and ready to be removed out of the moulds. So let me just pop the purple one back into frame just to remind you how gorgeous is that. Now I've made this one for my mother-in-law, so I hope she likes it, and I could have got away with adding just a tiny little bit more in that one, so I've done the total opposite, not enough in that one and too much in the others. And I've got a funny feeling that that purple one and the blue one are going to be really good, but the pink one isn't going to be as good because of that tip, but we'll see. I don't know, so I'll see you in a day or two. So this is the next night now, so we're coming up to 24 hours since I finished these. Now I did check on them this morning, early this morning, and they were already cured. They seemed hard enough, but I didn't touch them just to make sure that they'd be okay. And I wanted to do it on camera anyway. So I'm going to start off with this one that I didn't put enough in. You can see the lip there, it's a little bit further down. So I've got a funny feeling I might have to smooth the edges on these. They do feel a little bit sharp, but in that resin kit the little pieces of sandpaper are supplied. So let's just see. This is the first time taking them out, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I know the pink one of mine I've messed up a little bit, and I will show you. It does look slightly bendy, so it isn't completely set, but if I just leave that and it doesn't get used, but if I just quickly just move these out the way just gently, and there you go. So that is a writing pen. I've made a pen, and look how glittery and sparkly that is. So you can see the edges there, they are quite sharp, so I will sort that out and sand them down, but I'm really impressed with that. Look at that, I made that myself. But I've kept as well to one side the glitter that I stuck down with just the glue, so that's completely set that now. And then the one that I mixed with the glossy accents, that looks like that could be stickles, that to me. So I'm definitely going to be testing that with all the other colours. So let's go ahead and do the pink one. Now I do know, I can see that there's an air bubble right at the top, you see that hole, so I know now for next time to make sure that there's no air bubbles. And by the looks of it, all the glitter has settled to the very bottom. Look at that one! Wow, that is super cool. I'm so glad that I went with the pink and the stars. Oh, I love it, I absolutely love it. But the same thing on this, the edges are quite rough, so I will have to just sand them down. That's where the air bubble was, just there. But you know, it doesn't make it not usable. So let's just test this one out as well. And that works absolutely fine. So that's number 2. I am so pleased with these. And this is the blue one. So how shall I take this out? Shall I do the top end first? This one does feel a little bit bendy like the other one. I'm a bit nervous about getting this one out, to be honest. How am I going to do this without bending it? I'm bending it though, trying to get it out. Oh! If I pull this way, I'll just straighten it back up and pull this way. But it's worked. that's probably the most perfect one out of them all. I just need to see a little lip here if I sand down that to just get it perfect. Initially I didn't want any glitter, but that was just the residue left over in the pot, but I'm sure my husband will like it nonetheless because I've made it. Let's just test it. Oops, that's a red one as well, so he's not going to be too happy with me. I probably should have tested the ink colour beforehand, but I am so impressed with these. I'm going to be getting some other moulds and trying some different items that we can make. But I found it super fun. The cleanup wasn't too bad, you know, it wasn't too much of a mess, and the result from these, and you know, I think these would make excellent Christmas gifts. If you wrap these up in nice tissue paper, put them in a nice box with a little bow, you know, it's handmade, and I'm over the moon with them. So I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much again to Magicfly for sending me the resin, the glitter and the pigment inks for the resin. Now all of them are sold separately, but I would thoroughly recommend them all together. As you can see, look how beautiful that is. So cute. So I need to find out if I can make a diamond pen now. For obviously diamond painting. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.